How is the audio now? I was using a different dongle yesterday by my mistake, and I bet you can hear that. I had some dongle issues. So, guys, we got Ian here. How are you doing, Ian? We have one thumbs up. That means, Ian, you gave me a thumbs up, and that is awesome. Uh, I have a rooster in the shop. I want to see. Hold on to your coffee there, Ian. See the rooster. So I leave the shop door open for him. Uh, we have a bunch of wood milled up for some cutting boards that I raided Bob's trailer, guys. Let me find my live stream right here. I do not have a notification yet for my live stream. Oof, just had a battery beep. I'm glad you could catch it, Ian. I was not sure actually when I was going to go live. I got sidetracked doing some paperwork, some computer work, some things like that. So then I just kept going that route. I was going to do one this morning, and I just wouldn't have been able to complete what I had started. So, yeah, Farmer Brad, hey, yeah, crickets are chirping right out there. Hey, Virginia, looks like you may have got a notification. Hello from Rhode Island. I was just telling Ian and Farmer Brad that I might have my microphone issues fixed. I was using the wrong dongle, the thing that hooks my microphone to my phone, Virginia, so it should actually be good audio for you guys today. Hit the bell again. YouTube's unclicking your bell. That's interesting, Virginia. You're the one that probably watches every single minute of my content, too. YouTube should make sure that you stay right on Hope This Works. That's funny. I've had to go through and double check some clicked bells. I probably should actually do that again. I've been wondering where a few of my channels have gone to. I'm going to grab my phone charger, guys. I went down to 13% there. There we go. We should be good to go. 7 people in the chat. Hey, guys. I raided some wood out of Bob's trailer. 4 pieces of wood. I got some birch, which I thought was maple at first. So it is birch. A very classic birch bark. So this one had a big old funny knot in it right there. So I didn't want to mill it up. I don't want to use something like that for a cutting board because it actually creates kind of a void. And also it will it'll have a tendency to expand and contract a little bit differently. So this one was actually a really nice stick right here. Wish I could get a little better light for you guys, but I'm kind of light bulb poor right now. But this stick particularly, I didn't mill up for the cutting boards because it has a lot of gray staining in it, and that's really going to look cool. So this particular piece is actually going to get saved for some boxes. And I milled up enough blanks of this birch. It's going to have some really cool. You can see a little bit of gray staining right in there. That's going to look real good. I milled up enough blanks for 2 Self-Reliant Roadshow cutting boards. Birch, walnut, birch, cherry, birch, walnut, birch, cherry. So my finished size on the boards, I'm going to make 2 of them look identical. Finished size on the boards. Very good. There you go. Now you can see what I'm talking about. Birch, walnut, birch, cherry, birch, walnut, birch, cherry. My finished size on the board, I'm planning on being 18 inches by 14 would probably be good. That'll give me enough trim room. So 2 butcher blocks. They're going to be about an inch thick. Hey, busy little house. You'll take 2. All right. I'm thinking about putting a meat groove, like a juice groove, on the perimeter or close to the perimeter, and then also a couple of routed grooves on the side, so it's easier for you to flip over and grab. Most likely it's going to be a double-sided board, so you'll be able to flip it over it. You know, some people like using boards, one side for meat, one side for produce, things like that, or one side for fish and one side for something else. So that's why I'm going to do that way. I'm also going to burn my maker's mark and the Self-Reliant Roadshow into the edge of both boards. I said I was going to give one to Mrs. B, and they actually thought that it would be a good idea to maybe sell them as Self-Reliant Roadshow cutting boards. So that is what I am doing today. I am making 2 big giant cutting boards. So maybe they will be, I could build a website page for the boards and maybe price them accordingly and see what happens there, guys. I wanted to show you that, what I was up to there. Shop is still messy. But the next step in this process is running all these blanks through my planer, and then I'll go over to my shopsmith and set up my homemade jointer attachment that I made with my router. So I'll joint all the edges and plane all the surfaces, and then I'll have square and parallel stock. And then I will, at that point, this afternoon most likely, hang on to your coffee, guys. I will use this is my cutting board clamp fixture. And then once they are glued up, I will actually, well, you can see my shopsmith in the back there, I think. Yeah, you can actually see my drum sander attachment. I actually set up right now. Can I point to it? Yeah, that is actually my homemade drum sander, thickness sander basically, attached to my shopsmith that is behind there. And after that, then I will route the juice grooves and the handles, and then oil them. So I'm hoping to get to that point oiling them tomorrow. I will make sure. Have a great day, busy little house. Thank you. Hey, Ash's Treasure, how are you guys doing? You and Anastasia. Yes, Virginia, it's going to look really cool. I've never used birch. Actually, yesterday was the first time I've ever milled up any birch. and it really has a very silky feeling. I know you can't feel that, guys, but uh, lots of character in the wood. When this surface is planed, it's just it's just gonna pop out. I just love doing it. But very silky compared to like walnut or cherry, but it's also gonna turn out pretty blonde, a lot lighter color than I'm used to. So I think the contrast with the walnut and the cherry is gonna really look awesome. I've been doing a little bit of filming, so I'm gonna make a video of that. I'm making a video of making these boards. So then I'll stick them on my website, and hey, yeah, I will do that, Ian. Thank you very much. That's actually very generous. It's pretty cool, Bill. It's really really quiet out here usually, and you hear the peeper frogs are gone now, um, but now we get crickets. So my two brown dogs are actually excellent cricket catchers, and I see the chicken bouncing around sometimes too. So I think he's having a good time catching crickets. We've only had one inside the house, thankfully. They we would get them in Michigan. They get down in the basement, and my basement was cement, and it would echo, and it would drive us bananas on the main floor of the house. And as soon as I started to walk down the stairs to go find that cricket and take care of it, that cricket would stop, and I'd wait, and then it'd start up, and I'd take one step down, and it'd stop, and I'd wait. And about a half an hour of that, then I could actually get to the center of the basement to find out where the echo was coming from, and then start searching it. My dog just bumped the tripod, guys. I hope you didn't spill your coffee. Uh, you may sell them right now in this stream. What's the price? I don't know. We talk about that in the Amateur Woodworkers Guild, Sam, about how do you price your work? And because these are not just chunks of wood, these chunks of wood are made with love and hope and homestead connections and generosity and uh, all kinds of stuff. How do you calculate that factor, correctly? Uh, Let me do a little thinking on material cost, and we will see what we can do. Yes, Ash and Anastasia, yes, we are super excited. We had pizza last night. They surprised us and they bought dinner, and that was awesome. And we gave the pizza bones to all the dogs, and they were super happy. Mrs. B and our silver pit bull Bailey are best friends now. Mrs. B just absolutely loves Bailey. She was a cute, just I don't think Bear's jealous, but the dogs have been getting along really, really good. Nora and Remy will bark when, like, Mrs. B came over to get some eggs this morning for breakfast, and she went nutso. But then she takes off to her corner, goes out in the yard, and Mrs. B comes in, and then they're okay. Uh, there's no aggression really. Nora is just very. I think she's kind of frightened. Uh, she's we live out here at the end of the road, and we don't get company, and it's been like that from you know her her early beginnings. So I think she's just kind of frightened. The pit bulls just want to lick Bob, and he's okay with that usually. So not during dinner time though. Yeah, Claudia, I love how Cherry looks. It actually has a pretty unique character. Sometimes the cherry will turn out really, really blonde, but depending on where it's been milled out of the log, like this one in particular. Hope I can get a focus there. Well, okay, you can probably see that. There's two distinct colors. This is really blonde over here, and that's actually it'll turn more of a deeper amber, which is pretty interesting. There's also in this batch of cherry that I bought a while back, has some pretty good figure in it in some areas. So, hello, Northern Ohio Homestead. Thank you for joining us. Yes, and family sports family. Yes. Yeah, Bill, that is my S9 right there. Uh, 65 for autographs. I actually have you forward facing right now. I could change that. Um, let's do that, guys. Don't let me poke you in the eye. Okay. How about that? I have to turn my mic around, guys. Plug your ears. Now we should be set. I should have noticed that on the autofocus. I have the I can't turn off the autofocus. It just goes right straight into live focus when you're forward facing. Been all through the settings. I'm not a huge fan of Samsung. Actually, I've had Motorola phones for probably 5 years now, and this is the first Samsung, and I'm not terribly impressed with some of the settings on the camera. The quality is a little better than the Motorola, but that's so funny. Yeah, and Bob made breakfast. Uh, Coincidental, Virginia. That's funny. We had pizza last night. Yeah. Uh, Bob made breakfast this morning. I looked at Billy Joe and I asked her, I says, when was the last time that we had cooked breakfast at home? And she got to thinking, and he says, oh, dinner about 6 weeks ago. We are not, I don't eat. I'll have a yogurt and a banana about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll have a real light lunch and then some snacks in the afternoon and then a dinner. Uh, but yeah, not cooked breakfast, so that was a super big treat. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, the forward face is rear facing drives me nuts, and I don't know why. For some reason, I like looking at the forward facing on some reasons, but if I'm walking around in a live stream, then it doesn't, you know, it does a goofy live focus. So that that's cool, Sam. Peaceful. Love the shop stream and everything. Pulled over in the parking lot to watch. That's awesome. Uh, well, yeah, you guys are in Phoenix, aren't you, Bill? Hey, Big Wave Dave, how are you doing? I'm talking about cutting boards, Self-Reliant Roadshow, Uno and Dos, and people seem to think that they want to buy one, and that's just freaking fantastic. That was very supportive. Uh, I robbed some wood out of Bob's trailer last night, which is slated for stuff to build, and I figured I better get to building something. So to fill you in, Dave, we are making two butcher blocks, identical, as closely as I can based on species of wood, but same pattern and all. Um, birch walnut, birch cherry, birch walnut, birch cherry, and I'm going to burn in my maker's mark and self-reliant roadshow on the ends, and most likely put a juice groove all the way around, and I'm actually going to make it a double-sided board. Uh, so it'll be, you can flip it over. So there won't be any rubber feet on it, which some people prefer a one-sided board with rubber feet, but then I think lose some of the functionality of an actual board because it's supposed to be used. Um, so I want to make it a flip over board, for different types of foods, things like that. Farm all, boom! if you didn't know, Farmall, hey Farmall, I got monetized the other day. Boom. Got a little green check mark. I think I made like just a whopping amount on my first day. Kind of YouTube crushed my dreams, you know. So now it's next phase to really work on launch time, click through rate, quality videos. I'm digging into a different mobile editor right now called KineMaster. Leaves a watermark for the free version. I'm actually relatively pleased. I am saving my pennies for a couple hardware upgrades on the computer so I can get into some better big boy software. I have an outdated OS, Windows 7, which really isn't that bad, but it's not going to be supported here coming up, and I lose some of the... Boom! Farmall is here, and somebody just got a super chat for Rosa's cutting board. All right. I think you decided on price, guys. I better get busy. Want to take some rain. Man, it rained last night like a cow peeing on a flat rock, boy. Bob was in the bus and I was in the house. Thank you so much, Bill and Rosa. You guys rock. We will be in very close contact and we will design a cutting board exactly for you. Lost my train of thought. So Bob and I are texting back and forth on content creators and private messaging. I says, Bob, this storm is coming. You better hang on to your hats. And he responded with, oh, it'll be all right. And then it got a lot closer. And the wind switched. And it started raining. And the wind was crazy. And I says, this one's about to produce some hail. And like right as I pushed send, it started hailing. Nothing crazy large, but we were getting a little bit of hail. So I actually expected a bigger wall of hail, just the way the winds, very, very indicative of a storm rolling through in that slow storm. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. You're in a Hobby Lobby, Doc. Go figure, watching your hobby in a Hobby Lobby. Don't be going and buying any of those junk boards in Hobby Lobby. You guys rock. That is so cool. Thistledome, yeah, I'm going to actually... Sam has been encouraging me to do a full shop tour. You guys can't see that side. You only get glimpses. That's my inspirationally collected treasures over there. I have my shopsmith back there with a homemade drum sander. I have my vise and my grinder. This is my planer that usually just goes under here. My planer bench, which allows me to, really it does help reduce a lot of the snipe that you get at the end of your boards when running through the planer. And I have my radial arm saw is underneath there that gets pulled out when I'm not working on my dining room table. I also have a small bandsaw under there. It needs to get mounted somewhere and refurbished. So thank you. That is so cool, Bill and Rosa, man. I'm just happy. That was actually my first super chat ever. I was trying to con Billy Joe, and I said, hey, how about you throw me a super chat in my live stream? It'll be my first one ever. I says, Billy Joe, you can show me a $5 super chat, but we'll get the $3 back. $2 can keep YouTube. And I just wanted to see the super chat. You guys are so awesome. Yeah, 30% does go to YouTube. We have a lot of mixed feelings on that, you know. A lot of my subscribers have a very personal connection with us, you know, and I would, from that standpoint, if somebody wants to send me $10, they want me to have the whole $10. That's that's an awesome gift. Um, yes, if it goes through super chat, well, I get $7 of that, 650 or something. Well, I still get 650, and it was 650 I didn't have. Um, so I did set up PayPal me for that. It should be in the description of all my live streams and stuff like that. So that is another option. And I also do have a P.O. box that I frequent once a week. So there's another option. Um, 2 inches. Yeah, you guys are getting tons of rain. I was just looking. I've been following the corn and the ethanol and the agriculture. That's ethanol affects so much stuff. There's been so much flooding from our actual winter storm we got, but Nebraska got just hammered with rain. I call that snowmageddon, and tons of the Midwest just got completely flooded. Corn currently is like this tall, and last year in those same exact fields, corn was 2.5, 3 feet. So that's going to have some direct relation on our economy. The ethanol, there's a lot of things that are run on pure ethanol. I know a lot of our gasolines are, some of our gasoline grades are stretched with ethanol. That hurts farmers. That hurts all kinds of stuff. That could roll over into um, trucking companies, transport companies. Uh, that's just, it's kind of devastating. Corn, 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 corn. Yeah, I filled up my. I got well over 55 gallons out of that storm, that last storm last night, and just off the one eve. How does the super chat work? Have you guys been? Yep, exactly, Bill. And that's really we are just on kind of a smaller scale and a less modern scale. We have twin 275 totes in the ground up front. I have kind of a first catch system, 55-gallon poly drum, also out front for the front small edition, which is kind of on a magical auto siphon, so it just kind of drains when it gets to a certain level of that tank. She just drains. And just for the greenhouse right now, I got a couple 55-gallon drums, and I just keep, emptying out. I transfer the water with some buckets and water my plants. And if I know we're going to get some storms, what I will do is I'll make sure that bucket's empty. I have a lot of metal barrels. That's not the greatest for watering animals or your shower or stuff like that. It kind of is what we have right now. I haven't killed my plants. My tomatoes are doing fantastic. Uh, I am working on cutting boards. I grabbed some wood out of Bob's trailer that he brought me from the Homestead Connection trailer, which is, he brought this all the way from Wisconsin. I milled up some birch. I milled up some walnut. I milled up some cherry that I already had. Enough for 2 units, and these are going to be approximately, lose my tape measure on live stream, guys. Uh, Approximately 18 finished size, 18 by 14. Uh, I think I'm actually going to add one more section or possibly two of walnut to each board, and just to see how it looks. But then I'm going to burn in the edge my maker's mark. I think your name is Linda, Northern Ohio. I forget. I'm going to burn my maker's mark in there, and then burn in Self-Reliant Roadshow. I got a wood burner kit for Christmas, this past Christmas, and I've never used it. So, kind of double duty. I'm actually making video of these boards. So that'll probably go on my Making Sawdust channel, but I'll do kind of an overview video for everybody on Hope This Works. And I just got a giant super chat from somebody for Rosa's cutting board. So it sounds like Bill wants me to build him a cutting board, or he wants one of these. So we are going to sell them. The proceeds are going to go to Hope This Works and all its future endeavors. That is really that's super generous, guys. I know what my pocketbook looks like, and this is how I make money on Homestead. There's some physical factors that take part in conventional jobs and things like that. There's some other factors involved, and a lot of times I Hope This Works, it is really just pure survival. So your support is awesome. Thank you so much, guys. First super chat, super excited. Got 18 people in the house. I have no idea what we are going to do this afternoon with Bob and Mrs. B. I know we have a big spiral cut ham that we bought last week. And that's going to be a ham dinner. Depends on what time those guys are done doing their errands and chores. And we'll go from there, guys. It is Thursday. Most like Bob has a premiere tonight, which is really, really awesome. That's all I can say. But it is epic. There's going to be some more video releases probably on Sunday, which are probably equally as epic. There are some developments on what's going on the stead right now. I don't want to divulge too much, guys. A little bit of suspense, but we do know that we're working on cutting boards right now. What'd you get? You got a prize pack? What'd you get, Farmer Brad? I follow Farmer Brad on Instagram all the time, and he's always all right, Bill. Thanks for the message, Bill Rosa. Wise, dude. You have a lot of those Wise cams. I've been those are really cool. I've talked to Billy Joe about those. How it's all controlled through a smart device, programmable. You got your Wise cam. You had your Wise cam on your chickens, and you darn near fell off your barn roof installing another Wise cam up at the peak, didn't you? Yep. 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 LOL. Yep. Hey, out west, how you doing? Somebody else popped in here. Canterbury Trails, how are you doing? You are in the Making Sawdust shop. This is a building that is associated with Hope This Works Homestead, and this is where we make sawdust. This is where I make stuff and sell it to people, and it helps us eat. So that is really cool. I milled up some birch yesterday, and some walnut, and some cherry. And I'm going to make 2 identical butcher block cutting boards for Self-Reliant Roadshow. They're going to have a meat groove all the way around them. They're going to be a 2-sided board. They'll also I'll have a routed handle, like a groove on each side. Basically just a handhold, so you can flip it over and grab it. There won't be any rubber feet on it because it's a 2-sided board. And then I'll also burn in my Maker's Mark and Self-Reliant Roadshow. And they will be for sale very, very soon. I'm going to be in the close to finishing stages this afternoon, and they'll be finished most likely tomorrow. For those of you that have just joined us, Dave remembers the ladder incident. You're welcome, Canterbury. Yes, it was not an OSHA approved event. And you did capture that on some video, and that was, I'd have probably been a little scared uh, if that would have happened to me. Uh, how long have we been going here, guys? Half hour almost. Uh, yeah, so it started streaming 98 seconds ago. Oh, here's my clock up there, 12:36. So I had a little embarrassing moment yesterday, guys. I went live. What did it call? Oh, Bob left. That's the live stream. One of you guys can drop a link if you want. For the folks that may have not seen it, Bob left. So I start my live stream in here. Say, hey, Bob left. The trailer's open. Let's go grab some wood. I'm out there and set my tripod up. Poked a couple of you in the eyes when I was, wiping off my camera, having some mic issues, and they're trying to help me through that. And I noticed later, I'm looking at my dongle, my little springy cord that goes from my phone to my mic, my Rode mic. It's like, aren't I supposed to have the dongle with the gray end on it and the three little bands? And I pulled it out and I looked at it. It was 2 to 2, and I'm like, oh, that's why I'm not getting any audio. So I fixed that. But that's not really the embarrassing moment I'm talking about. I'm doing the same thing today with my live stream. I have my much older device running my live stream so I can see myself and see the chat, and my nice device over there. Well, I flipped the camera around. I pointed the camera over there at the trailer and all that, and was getting wood out, and I was talking to the camera just like this, and I forgot to push the button with the 2 little funny arrows that represent flip your camera around. And I'm sitting there talking, and I'm watching, and I can't see myself. I'm still seeing the view of my crappy trailer, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? And I see comments. Oh, Kevin, turn the camera around. That's my embarrassing moment. So I'm sitting there at our computer work desk last night, and Billy Joe was rewatching the live stream, and I didn't know what she was watching. I thought she was watching Trailer Park Boys or something like that, and she's just bellowing laughing. Apparently, I missed quite a few comments that were advising me of my camera turnarounder malfunction, and so I'm actually quite embarrassed. She thought it was hilarious, and I think a few of you guys were here last night, yesterday afternoon. You may have thought that was equally hilarious. So, transparent. Oopsies. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it again. Or go watch it. It was awesome. The ladder. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to give you a wrench, Bill. I can't do it. Or maybe I wonder if I can do it right now. Oh, yeah. Bill is now a moderator for your channel. See? Woo. See you, Sam. Thanks for joining, buddy. Yeah, thank you very much, Brad. Northern Ohio Homestead. I've been looking for a large bread. You need a bigger baking pan. Are you looking for a large board? A good way to get a hold of me, Northern Ohio, is Kevin at kevinswoodcreations.com. And that go right to my business email, and we can talk from there. You can also go to kevinswoodcreations.com, fill out a custom order request, which is on my shop page. I'd be happy to talk to you. You could also reach me through Facebook Messenger on my Making Sawdust channel, or any of that. Yeah, Bill, that is my sarcasm. Ian, you were there? Yeah. You got a belly out of that one. It was actually, I can laugh at myself. When I realized it last night during the stream, I was like, oopsies. And I just kind of, I says, oopsies. And went on running, chasing squirrels. But then when Billy Joe let out her belly laughter, I was figured I'd laugh at myself some more. uh, yeah. Um, Kevin, send me a Facebook friend request when you get time. I sure will. We're right now. Thank you so much, Bill. Uh, and I won't say I apologize ahead of time. Actually, my website is in its kind of infant stages. I have a lot of stuff I want to put on my gallery. I have some new products that I want to get on there. But you guys support going over there and visiting that is super cool. Um, Sign up for my blog. I'm actually going to be filling out. I'm just filling more of it up with a lot of woodworking type stuff under my Making Sawdust page, but also on the Hope This Works page, I have something about our homestead and our YouTube. So I'm going to start filling up more blog articles and blog posts about Hope This Works and how it relates to Kevin's Wood Creations. We don't have a Hope This Works website yet. Um, this was kind of my first bang at it. I knew I wanted to have some e-commerce that was going to help with making money, making a revenue stream, and that is it allows me to continue to go. So yeah, I built the entire thing myself. Never built one before, so uh, yeah, I see that, Farmer Brad. Um, that is really something to consider. I capture like the storm last night. Um, I got an 8-man GoPro and it captures some good time lapse. But I'm limited on my memory card space, a little bit limited for any type of night footage, good lightning night footage. I get, and a lot of times the battery, I'll only get, in a 2 nights ago, I got some good lightning footage, but I only had enough battery life on a full battery to run about, oh, I think I captured about 40 gigs, 40 or 42 gigs material. So it's really only uh, 9, 10 minute clips, and if it's on time lapse, I may get to midnight. So wise cams would actually be something that I'd look into. Uh, that's 32 gig local storage and a cloud backup. Yeah, E and I have a 8-man A80. It is not out here. Yeah, I brought it in last night to charge it up and pull my memory card. So, Bill and Rosa, that is so cool. Thank you so much. I need to get going. That's also another good thing. Why 10-second clip, so motion is detected. My 8-man has motion detection, but it's really not sensitive enough. I set it up the other night as a chicken cam, basically, to see what Big Red did all night. Where he slept, and black footage. Uh, so, and I knew where he was, and I don't want to shine a light. So yes, yeah, definitely. Brad, the mailbox cam has paid for itself. If you didn't know, Brad was in Indiana. He had a little residential mailbox incident, and somebody run over his stuff and took off. And it just so happens, the wives picked it up and they tracked him down. The dude paid for a mailbox, and Brad's super happy. Yep. I want to incorporate more of that filming for in here. Uh, Ian, I'd like to have the action cam just mounted and, you know, kind of a simple gantry, you know, nothing crazy fancy. I got some garage door track and I got some bearings. I got all kinds of stuff. I think the challenge at this point is my color correction with the A80 because I have kind of substandard lighting in here. My A80 captures a different. It is super hard to color correct my A80 and my S9 if I'm going to do a video with multiple tracks from different devices. So, and especially if I'm in here, I'm making a sawdust video, and I want to add a level of creativity and a level of professionalism in those videos that you're not going to get in, you know, a Kevin video, you know, walking around in a live stream or something. So the color correction kind of kinks me because of my lighting at this point. It is such a challenge for that color correction. But I see the link you just sent me, Brad. That's awesome. Thank you. I'll check that out. Got a spare GoPro 3+ cylinder with a gimbal. I was using my my rigid gimbal right there that you guys are on right now. It's a nice rigid gimbal. Oh, was it a neighbor down the road? Really? What a drag. Poor neighbor. Wonder if he was maybe intoxicated or something. What a drag. Thanks, guys. We are 47 minutes into this. I'm going to give you guys another 13. And I'm going to tell you a little story. I save every stick of wood for some reason. Every single stick. Because I see millions of bits of sawdust in every single stick. You know what sawdust is? Sawdust is a good additive for your compost, your beds, your mulch around your trees, your composting toilet, your wood stove. You can make compressed wood cakes out of it. So, the question is, what do you save and what do you not save? See, well, I'm a woodworker. This is a beautiful little stick of birch right here that would go beautifully as small inlays or small splines in my boxes. But it is a pain to store. Now, most of this piece of wood, this section right here, there's really nothing that is, I mean, there is pieces that are millable, savable, but it comes down to time. What is that time worth versus that piece of material? Now, here's really what you want to illustrate. That piece of wood, I'll tilt it down a little bit, guys. Hang on to the coffee. Right there. These, for the most part, are all exotic hardwoods. You say to yourself, Kevin, why on earth would you save those tiny little sticks of wood? But you would throw away half of that. You throw that away. Where's your theory in that? Where's your logic in that? Here you go, folks. I'll tell you. This is cherry. It may look pretty cool, pretty beautiful, but cherry is pretty common. This is much smaller than this piece of cherry, but this is zebra wood. This is probably a $3 stick of wood. Okay, a couple pieces of cherry, but these are all milled for splines for my boxes. So it would, if I'm going to make production boxes, if I want to make 20 boxes, I'm going to need quite a bit of this material. But if I'm going to whip out a custom little box for 1 or 2 people, I already have these cut. Save them. Very, very thin piece. Yellow heart. Turns, depending on how you finish it, turns bright yellow. So I save that stuff. Wing. Black palm. That's really cool. The last splines I did in the box were black palm. It is one of the neatest woods. Super, super hard. Quite brittle. And it smells funny. Like, I can't really describe what it smells like, but it smells funny. And this is how I buy a lot of my exotics. Like this one right here is marble wood. I would buy this. I buy those from Bell Forest Products. And what a great place. I have quite a few sticks over here. Black palm, Paduak, red palm, wing, yellow heart, red heart, purple heart, zebra wood. So certain types of woods I don't save. And that's where I get into a pretty big quandary, you know. Everything is a commodity for us. Everything is worth something. And, you know, when you're a resourceful homesteader or unclinically diagnosed hoarder, I like to save stuff. But most likely, I won't be saving some of this small cherry. Unless I have something to build with it right now. So it goes into staging areas, and then when the bench gets filled and I can't use my table saw anymore, then I come over to the stack in the staging area and I make something out of it. This is all just common hardwoods. Got some oak and some hickory and some walnut. But these were all less than a 1/4 inch thick and about 1 inch wide or 1/2 inch wide. Most people would throw that stuff right in the fire. I don't, because that, what I illustrated earlier is I had scrap pieces that were at the end of my table saw that were in the way of my current project. They were from a previous project. So I says, well, I gotta make something. So I milled it up, started. They're gonna basically be coasters, like a 4-pack or a 6-pack of coasters. It would sit on your end table or sofa table or something like that. So that's a lot of times when you're limited on space, you have a small maker space, small shop. I obviously don't have a lot of liquid asset to or money to spend on hardwoods. So some of my projects are from small unused pieces of wood. Now if it's dead of winter time and I'm milling up these cutting boards, most likely that is going in the wood stove, because I make a different decision based on the variables at hand. The variables at hand is I have a wood stove right there and I'm in the shop and I'm milling up stuff. So if I'm heating up the wood shop to mill stuff up, I might as well burn this for heat and keep working and tackle projects. So middle of the summertime, these are probably going to get turned into you know, coasters or napkin holders or some other sort of craft item. And that's really where my challenge is actually writing. A lot of times, or lately on Homestead, is the value of my time where it's at, and balance, and how I can so easily get squirreled off and be in the greenhouse. But I can also be easily squirreled off and working on the truck or stacking some lumber or things like that. But I'm not in the wood shop and I'm not making any money. Even though my vegetables soon turn into banana peppers and sweet peppers and relishes and salsa and food items that I eat when I'm taking care of my greenhouse. I love tomatoes. I'm eating cherry tomatoes. That's part of my sustenance. That's part of my diet. So I do have to dedicate time in the greenhouse, and it does reflect saving money because I'm not going to the grocery store and buying a bag of or a bushel of beefsteak tomatoes to make salsa, or I'm not buying a jar of relish for my chili dogs. So uh, I think as a homesteader, I think we carry a lot of similar values and similar activities. We all have something that we do on the homestead to make money. Uh, some of it is e-commerce, and some of it is affiliate marketing, and some of it is a website and blog traffic and things like that. But some of it is woodworking, some of it is crocheting, and some of it is, you know, being a seamstress, things like that. Farmers market. So I think everything is valuable as a homesteader that you hold dear to your heart. And how do you weigh that time? So there is a little more of a shift at this point right now for revenue for the homestead. We have some dreams and we have some things we're putting on paper and directions we want to get. And it's kind of my impromptu monologue, guys. And I almost, yeah, caption. Now I'm catching up. What'd you miss, VG? Uh, Perfect walking stick. Yes. Even the smallest pieces be put to use for something. Yes, exactly, Honeydew. Drooling over my planner. This is actually one of the least expensive ones on the market. This is a WEN 6550. I actually have a video on my Making Sawdust channel of making this planer bed attachment, sharpening the knives and replacing the knives, things like that. A lot of your bench, they call them lunchbox planers, which are your benchtop models, are uh, priced by color, really. A blue one, which is Makita, is going to cost this much. A yellow one is going to cost that much. A Wen is going to cost that much. And a lot of times, they're really there may be some functionality based on brand that is something you want to look at in how you're going to use it, what you're going to use it for, and how it performs. Uh, this one was awesome, and it still is awesome. It's 3 years old, and I've put it through its paces. Uh, so thank you, out west. Yes, use multiple baskets, uh, and that's really where it becomes tricky sometimes for balance. Uh, None of us are perfect at balancing our lives. So we're doing pretty good. We're very happy, and we have our dreams and stuff, but we want to get further. Uh, Parts of the last 3 years has been just, well, I'll be honest with you, just straight survival. So um, Bob's here. I think he's gonna help us level up a little bit. It's exciting. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. I've got my old hand planer right here, Bill. I just used it yesterday. This is my Actually, this is my grandfather's Stanley Companion. He bought it, about the time my dad was having me. So it was about 40 years old or so. It was in my dad's, my toolbox back in Michigan, my dad's toolbox at my mom's house. And my sister sent that to me about a year ago. It needs a very light restoration. I sharpened the blade. It looked like Prairie Dog was chewing on it for the last 15 years. It wouldn't plain butter. So I bought a sharpening kit, sharpening jig, and I sharpened my plane blade for the very first time ever. Never sharpened a plane blade, and it actually works really good. I need a little bit more practice with that. Um, that's actually a future video. Drilling over your home workshop, Canterbury. That's cool. Thank you. Uh, if you didn't know, I have a second YouTube channel called Making Sawdust. It's in the description of all of our videos, and that's where you get just straight woodworking. Woodworking tips and tricks, projects. It's still kind of infancy right now. I haven't been able to dedicate a lot of time to it at this point. A lot of homestead stuff and a lot of leading up to this, so we are going to be. That's kind of where we're shifting right now a little bit. I need to block out better time, have a little better time management. Um, Now that I was awful at prioritizing, but yeah, I've had some prioritization issues, chasing some squirrels. So we are gonna be out here making more sawdust, guys. Elbow power, yep. I saw some coming across Facebook Marketplace the other day. Stanley planes. A lot of the planes are all numbered by size, and this is like I think like a number four. I think there was a number five and a number six and a router plane on Facebook Marketplace the other day, and it was just about $200 out of my market. And they wanted like $200. So, but I would have probably bought the things. I've never used a plane until I sharpened that one, and it's kind of addicting, kind of therapeutic too. We call it making curls. Uh, yeah, yeah, do that. That'd be awesome, Bill. My son has his great grandpa's hand plane. That is so cool. Uh, yeah, it needs a little. There's some very, very fine pitting on it, and the base is not in the greatest shape, but I really think I can finish it nicely. Bring her back to life. There is another one in my dad's toolbox that's a little longer, but the handle is broken. Um, so I'd like to get that one too and redo it. Yep. I still run with electric tools. My sawzall is electric. Uh, I have two electric drills that I use. I have a Milwaukee, which is it's a half-inch drill, but it's a slower RPM. But I tell you what, it would turn over a V8 engine. It's just got so much torque. So I keep that for different types of jobs. I like my cordless because it's lightweight. Uh, the Milwaukee's, in my personal opinion, beat the DeWalt's. If you can compare models, comparable models, the Milwaukee's are lighter. I think they're balanced a little more, and I like red. So cordless does have their place, and modern cordless technology has come a long way. So uh, advent of lithium-ion batteries and uh, cordless has come a long, long way. I was surfing the Milwaukee site the other day. hundreds of different types of tools. Things you wouldn't, I mean, Milwaukee has mechanic tools. Milwaukee has electrician's tools. Milwaukee has carpenter tools. Milwaukee has plumber's tools. Uh, Cordless tools are dedicated for that job. So I really, if you're a tool guy and maybe if you're in trade, let's say you're a plumber, there are dedicated tools that Milwaukee makes that if I was a plumber, I'd probably purchase them just out of sheer, just, just efficiency at a job site and possibly portability. And depending on what trade you're in, could be other reasons you have those tools. But yeah, it's it's impressive sometimes the different types of tools I have. Oh man, my back is about killing me, guys. I gotta sit down for a little while and probably charge that guy that you are watching on. You guys have been with me for 1 hour and 6 minutes. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to record some video of this thing right here and this thing right here. Put away some of my treasures. Go in the greenhouse and water the babies. Wait for Billy Joe, Mrs. B, and Bob to get back from their adventures. And then we will probably talk to you guys this evening. I'm quite sure we will. So I will post a link and schedule a live stream. Probably a live stream this evening. We're going to see what Bob and Mrs. B's plans are. And we're going to go from there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me here in the workshop. I'm going to go check some emails. I'm going to send some private messages to some people. And I'm going to run the stuff through the planer, glue it up. We'll be back with you. Make sure, be kind to your wait staff and your ushers. Please not leave your popcorn buckets on the floor. Make sure your seat is in the upright position and your belt is unlocked, as always.